Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on another page for the Poe journals. It's going to have another big moon on it. It's a graveyard scene. I'm going to have a little mixed media being worked into here. So you might get a few ideas and have some fun watching. Okay, this was the last page we looked at. And when you flip it, you have a watch jeweler department person over here. He's got one of those big numbers that I love. I put a big clock up there, of course. The gift wrap paper that's got the gold dots, some stamping, some lace behind him, and I guess that's just a piece of scrap, the glitter. I guess I just put it in there for a gold element. And then on the other side we have this, which is I'm not even sure exactly what I meant for these dudes to be. They're just there. But I have scrap behind it. Like, that's a piece of scrap. And this is the bottom side. So that was the top and that was the bottom. And then I put this little extra one in here. Here's a piece over here just for looks. And I've got lace kind of intermingled all under there. This is actually a doily. A paper doily that Tommy sent me. And it is like a rectangular size. I've got the other half of this piece here, and I put a gold feather and some music. Okay, that's our sneak peek. So today, what we're going to be working with, here is my piece of paper that is going to be the moon. And as you can see, I've got 4 of them because I've got the 4 books. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You don't have to have one of those dies to cut a round out or anything like that. If you've got a plate, a bowl, this is macaroni salad from Walmart. So I'm using this to go up here. There's also that thing you can do with a string. Like you tie a string on the end of your pencil, and then you hold it at a certain point down here, and you can go back and... I'm out of screen. You hold it down here, you tie it there, and you hold it in the middle at the bottom, and you can go back and forth like that. And you can make a circle that way as well. That's something we used to do in school. So I'm going to do a big circle all the way around. Yep, got it just right. These little extra spaces, we're going to actually use those to cut out our ghosts. Because I have, let me get that out of the way. I have this die set that I got recently. And it is, what is it called? It's Vault Fright Night. So he had remade a bunch of this stuff. I'm going to use the ghosties. I'm going to use the cemetery. I'm going to use the spider web. And the big branch. I think that's all we're going to use out of that. And then I've got my Lost Shadow and Antique Linen that I'm going to be using on the moons. And maybe pumice stone. That may be also. And the Lost Shadow is an oxide that I got, and I haven't used it yet. I'm going to be using my round to put the Antique Linen onto my moon. So we're going to see how that works out. See if I like that. We're going to have the Phantom Mist mica spray. And where that's going, the spider web. I'm going to be cutting it out of probably a piece of black. So I'm going to spray the black first. And then I'm going to cut the web out. And it's going to give it that shimmer effect. And then we have... Okay, where's that at? It's behind me. I had it earlier. Oh, here it is. I've shown you this before. Now, this is that paper towel that used to be in the bottom of my splat box. So what happened was I used Mod Podge and I just put it on a piece of paper. It was just some kind of cardstock paper that I had. So I put that down. And then one day I went and I took a stencil with some texture paste, and we're going to do that as well on this one. And then I put a little bit of this iced espresso. I've still got one down here I can show you that on. But it's sort of like a brick wall. I got to figure out where I got that stencil from now. I think it's one of my little skinny ones. But anyhow, that's what we're going to make the base out of. And I'll show you how that's going to work out. And then we have this, which is the foreboding stamp set. And what I'm going to do is pick out this splotchy one for the moon. So that's what that one's purpose is going to be. And I'm showing you all kinds of stuff today, people. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And it's a Scribe all-surface pencil. But what it is, and you get a white and a black and a sharpener, which is great. But what it is, it's one of those that you can go around the outline of something, and then you can take your wet brush, and of course I'm using my white watercolor paper. So I'm going to take and highlight the outside rim of the moon with the Scribe all, or whatever you call it. There's another name for that. I know there is, and I don't know. Aqua. Yeah, the aqua word is water. Water soluble. Writes on glass, metal, plastic, and wood. I can't remember what the devil that is called. Anyway, you know I'm not going to remember it. So, let's us get everything kind of out of the way. And I don't need my splat box for this. But I will pull up my piece of paper. Just, because I'm probably going to go over the edge. Not that it's going to hurt this. Look how dirty that is. I'm just a slob. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming to visit. I really appreciate it. Thank you for thinking of me, for coming to spend time with me. Okay, so this is our antique linen. It's always a nice shade to have if you're wanting something very pale in the background. And you know how the moon is. It's nice and luminous and very pretty. I gotta get this round thing loaded before it'll actually go on here. But see how it really looks like a moon color? It's really pulling it out. I just don't know how long it's going to take me to get one covered. Well, I've been busy the last couple days. I almost forgot to post my I did forget to post my video the one day, and Mom had me, I had to go down there and do something with that pump. She's got an insulin pump, and I'm having to learn how to work it and figure it out and tell her how, to function with it, that kind of thing. So anyhow, I had to go down, and she has a site that, well, she's got, what do you call it, a transmitter that it'll go in her skin. A little needle goes in her skin, and she can look at her blood glucose that way without having to stick her fingers every time you turn around. If anybody's diabetic, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this was a way that, and it reads to the pump. It actually talks to each other. So you have to get it on there and make it work with each other. So I had to figure out, and I actually did it the other day without, having any problem. Knock on wood. Let's see if I can do it next week. It's there every Tuesday. So then, I have to put it on her arm because it goes on the meaty part of your upper arm, and it's really, hard for one person to do it. I have no clue how they think somebody's able to get on there and do that, by themselves. So I have to go down and help her. But anyhow, I had to take her out to her doctor yesterday, and they got another thing that they hooked us up on the pump. They're taking us in stages, because we're learning, and it takes a little while to learn. So they hooked up the Smart Guard, and boy, that is a great feature. I'm amazed at it because she's always had highs and lows. And, she tries to work it through, and the lows, she'll get nervous, and she'll eat too much carbs or something to bring herself up, and then it's like goes up really high. It's just a roller coaster. So anyhow, this stuff, it's set at a certain, I think it's 120. And if her blood glucose goes higher than that, it automatically starts to administer a little bit of insulin. And it's trying to keep her down below this certain point. And man, is it working great. I'm telling you. I was amazed. It's kept her below this. She'll bop it once in a while, that little area. You know, it's like 250, I think it is, on her. And you can look at that on a graph on her phone. So that's what we're looking at. All right. So I have this. And what I want to do is I want to take... And I've seen people do this before. And then I've done it before, just playing around, not knowing what I was doing. But you can take a stamp block. Boy, is that dirty too. Anyhow, I might want to lightly mist this. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's lightly mist it. Just to get... I might have over misted it. But that's going to get my... my yellow working. And did I get any up here? Maybe not. So what we're going to do next is take and put a little bit of this on my stamp block. This is the Lost Shadow. Check it out. It's almost like a little violet purple color. But what you'll do is you'll spray it and drop it. Now, we don't have to worry about that oxidized color because it's already that shade. I mean, it's kind of like a white. But I'm trying to get kind of a crater look. Is that what we should say? A crater look. And I would hope to have bigger splotches, but I don't know that it's going to cooperate. Let me get my paper towel over here, because we're going to go ahead and wipe that off and start again. And we're going to do that several times. I actually have a picture of the moon on my phone. I guess it was something that I saw on Facebook the other day, and I saved it to my phone. I really love pictures of the moon and people that can get those big close shots of it. Oh, I love it. All right, let's see what I can get out here. Some of these are coming out really pale, so I don't know. Let's see if we can do that. Looks like cheese, doesn't it? All right, let's do a little wipe off and do one more. And this Lost Shadow, when it came out, everybody was thinking, gosh, that is so light. But it has a purpose, or it has a time and a place that it works perfectly for what you're needing it to do. Like if you wanted to do some backgrounds, and like, and we might do that with our stamp that we're going to use. But you could stamp on a background, and it's in the background. It's not going to be showing up, you know, too much that it takes over, you know. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do there for that. Okay, so Lost Shadow, we got that done. Let's get him out of the way. And I'm going to try to dry this off with my heat gun, and just, then I'll come back. Alright, I was going to show you on this last one. I ended up dabbing it because I've got some really big drips on here. So we're going to go ahead and dry that the rest of the way. I've got most of the big drips off. And then we'll do the next step. And that will be putting more Lost Shadow on here, but with a stamp. Okay, out of the Foreboding stamp set, we're using this. You've seen me use that before. It's just like a splotch stamp. And as you can see, this is what we've got so far. It's very mild, but I mean, you know, you have different degrees of depth that you can see on the moon in the craters. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to kind of, I think I can just do it this way. That might make it faster for me. And then we're going to get on here and do a few more splotches with that. Oh yeah, see, it's just a little bit darker, but not too bad. So we're going to get on there and do a few of those. Like that. I should have turned that around because I got that one distinctive splotch. I didn't want it to look like it was, you know, stamped. So we're going to do it like this. Turn it around a little bit and do that. That's what we're going to do. And that. And that. I sure was wanting some bigger, you know, craters. I don't know what I can do for that. I'll have to see if I've got anything that I can pull out. And maybe that's what the pumice stone will be used for. Okay, one more. Tap, 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 tap. All right. Last, but not least. Okay. There we go. Maybe I'll do a good one in the middle of those two, because that didn't have much in the middle. All right, so that, I'm going to wipe this off and I'll be right back. All right, check this out. This is perfect. So this is the moon that comes with the haunted house and the clouds and all that kind of stuff. But it's already got a few craters and things on it. So we're going to use that. Now, what is this one called? It's not got a word or a name. It's THMM149. So, but it's got like a haunted house. It's got the words down here that you can use. It's got this cool, like, I got to use it in some of my Poe pages. But it's like a, one of those old wallpapers, I guess you'd call it. Now, what we're going to use next is pumice stone. It's a little darker. I'll stamp it on here so you can kind of see. But I think it's going to be what I need to make this stand out. Now, it don't look like it's got too much going for it there. But, yeah, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens. It doesn't look like it's got... Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use that pencil on it and fill it in. Well, I don't want more than one. I'd like to have various sizes, to tell the truth. I don't know what I can do for that. All right, well, that's all I can do with that one. All right, I'm using this little finger thing and some more of the pumice stone. And I'm putting like a few different ones on there. Some are lighter, some are darker. Yeah. Just for variation. I'm going to have a tree branch coming through part of this, so I don't think you're going to see, or your eye won't be drawn that hard to that. Okay. So we're going to use this pencil now. And stabilo, that word just came to me. I think that's what those words may, or the pencils may be, that are water soluble and that kind of thing. So I'm just kind of drawing that in a little bit more on that one side to give it a little shadow and definition around that crater. And we'll see what we have. Plus, we're going to do a little bit of a line around the outside. All right. We'll probably just work with this one. And I can come back and finish these other ones afterward. All right. So let me make sure I got a good... Yeah, and then I'm going to give it a good shadow kind of definition on these oddball ones that I put on here. That one's a little on the closer side to this one, I don't know that he's worth doing. Let's do a little bit here, a little bit there, maybe a little bit over here, just so your eyes kind of pulled around. Here's like a really pale one. Let's see what I got over here. Let's pretend there's one here, and we'll put that in. Same with right there. Okay, let's see what that will do. Let me get a water soluble, or not water soluble, but my water pen. This is one that's fine, so we are going to see how she works. And you just kind of drag it. I haven't used it very often, as you can see. But you just kind of drag it along there. Maybe I don't have enough water on my brush. You don't want it to have, you know, too much going on, but just a little bit to give you a halo. Now, I've been working on my same report that I've been working on for a few days. It is the one with them traveling over from West Virginia. So, I know I droned on and on and on about it the other day. And, but I had found, I've been looking around to see if I had any more information. You know, back then, nobody hardly remembered any of that stuff. So, you were lucky to find an older family member that passed some information down to, you know, a grandchild or a child, something like that. And I just happened to have a little bit of information from another family member that was talking about, you know, her family had came over and went to Pocahontas County and then Greenbrier, I think, Greenbrier County. So then I found some births, and I always thought these births were somehow wrong because they were in Webster County. I'm thinking, why in the devil are these in Webster County? When did anybody ever go through Webster County? But you know what? They probably did. I bet they were. The three that I found, the three births, these were family, all kind of interchangeable family members. One's sister was this other one's mother, and, you know, things like that. So they were really connected. But I think they went through Webster County on their way over, and they were avoiding the Allegheny Mountains, I believe. So they must have been a real beast to get over and to try to get any kind of a passage or valleys and stuff to go through that made it easier for the animals. And then you had the mountain passes you had to go up and over and that kind of thing. All right, what do you think about my moon? I think I might need a little bit more, maybe a this on there or something. Yeah, see, it's kind of, you can actually wet this on your pencil. Some people do it this way, and then see, you can do it like that, and you get a whole lot better effect, it looks like, than what I got. So one side of the moon is going to be darker than the other. So that's what we're going to do for this side. We're going to bring that through right here with a nice dark shadow. So anyhow, I had to redo my route in one area to make it where they were going through Webster County. But it's all good. It was it looks like it was a better valley and such to get through, and you know, the mountains weren't as hard to get over. So I'm happy with it, because it's very, you know, I'm lucky Grandma said something to Mom about that. Now the thing was, she mentioned that her sister Janie, who came about 10 years later, came the same route and went over this German mountain that was so bad and difficult to climb. Or, you know, not German mountain, German valley. And then there's that mountain right after it that they had to go over. The reason they went that way was to go around. And I think it was a route that the family had been taking since like the early 1900s. I mean, these children's births that I found, they were born in 1895. Yeah, I think it was 1895. So you can see that that route had been being used by the family for quite some time. So they must have just passed it to each other, back and forth. All right, I'm going to actually erase a little bit of my lines here, because in here somewhere I'm going to be cutting out some ghosts. I didn't colorize my paper too well for the ghosts, but maybe I can put a little bit of this on here, this pumice stone, just to give it a little bit color variation for wherever I cut them out. Okay, there we go. That gives me something. You gotta have something. All right, so I'm going to trim out. Let's see. I'm going to go like that. And do like this. So I've got some room to cut out some ghosts. And like I said, I'm going to do the rest of this later. So we have to cut our moon out. And you want your moon, this watercolor paper is perfect because it's all like a really strong cardstock. And you want that because this moon is actually a pocket. It is going to be a pocket. How fun. All right, let's get our moon cut out. And I can always go around the outside of this with some black, which, let me go ahead and use this bouncer. I need to get me some more of these bouncers. All right, my black's right here. So we're going to go ahead and do the edge, just like that. I could have used my scorched timber, but that's okay. And we're not going to have to worry about doing the bottom, because the bottom is covered. It is going to be covered. Basically, it's going to be covered. So here is our papers for the ghosts. So I'm going to cut a few of them out. And then here is the black that I'm going to use for, got stuff everywhere, the spider web. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shake up my, and it's called Phantom Mist. How appropriate. So we're going to shake this up until we start to rattle. Whew, I can feel those, the arm flaps flapping in the wind. Oh, I got to get into shape. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Zach was just telling me is when, you know, we got 2.5 weeks for a vacation where we go over and do our research. Okay, this is going to have a really pretty effect, I believe, for a spider web. It looks just like one. All right, so I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all kinds of little ghosties flying around up here. I have at least 2 webs. And I still have to do my branch, but that will come next. That actually needs to go over there. This, which is THMM 112, I wrote stone and slate because that's what's on the stencil. It's actually got the mushrooms, the toxique, another little script or little messy stamp, and some field note kind of things, and some script stamps. And it's one of those ones I really love. But this is the wall. This is the wall. So I'm going to turn this kind of to the side. I need to put that in there. And I'm going to do it kind of just like this. And I'm using transparent texture paste. And it is a matte. It won't shine. And also, it's going to pick up because this is all like distress or oxide ink. And once, even though I've went over it with the Mod Podge, it still took up, as you can see here, because this one, I only put texture paste on there, but you can see it's dark. So it takes in that color that is still lying on this piece of paper towel. So I'm going to open this up. Ooh. And we are going to take us a slab. And the way I figured out how to do this, because it's so skinny, is I'm doing it kind of like here and going across. And I think I actually taped it, but let's see if I can be careful, because I didn't want it to go above that line there. But we'll see. You don't really notice it, to tell you the truth. And I don't want to go past that area either. So yeah, let's do just like that. And then what I do is I pick it up. And you can see it's a little sloppy, but not much. And then I come over here, and what I'm trying to do is make a gate. So I took and I put that kind of right there. And then I came over here. Actually, I'm up a little too far. And put it down again, and then kind of went over it here. I mean, this is about 6 inches wide. So you know you're not going to be using it that wide. But, you know, you might use it for something else. Now, that did turn out a little messy. But it will be all right. All right, I just got back from cleaning off my equipment, which is very important because you don't want that texture paste to stick on there. All right, and as you can see already how it's coming through. The color, and see, if you don't like a pointy area, just kind of rub your finger on it. I didn't like that pointy area. Oh, there we go. But, yeah, I said it didn't really matter over here because you're actually going to see how dark it is. It's just really dark. You don't really notice it. And then what I'm going to do now is show you how I rubbed this, and this is iced espresso. That was that new color I got a while back. I can't really tilt it to where you can see it. Maybe that. But I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's metallic luster. Oh, gosh, I don't even know what section to tell you I got it in. But see, it's like this. Ooh, look at that. How creamy. I don't know how long it's going to last, because the last one I got didn't last very long. But you just kind of do a very, very light finger rub over the top. See if I can get you down a little closer. There we go. And you want to dab it off. You don't want a buildup on your finger, but you want to just kind of lightly rub it over that raised surface. And it will pick up, you know, some of the texture of that paper towel is coming through, you can see, but that's okay. Sometimes you want texture. But this will kind of show the little pieces of brickwork and such that's here, and really pulls it out. Depending on how much you want to keep adding on here, you can keep going. In some cases, you might want to just highlight one side and not the other. It's just however you want to do it. You are the boss. All right, that's all I'm going to do there. And put my cap back on nice and tight. And so I'm going to set this to the side. This is done. This is ready for the next book. And you can see here's my little walkthrough area, like the gate area. And that one is too. And you won't see all of this bright back up in here, but I can save that for something else. Because here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take this piece, and I think we're going to put this kind of really far over to the right, because I want the branch to be coming in from the left, and the spider web is going to be hooked to part of the fence and the limb. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take this down here right now and run this through and get this cut out. And oh, let's tell you the truth. Well, I was going to cut it, but it's going to actually cut it all the way around. So I just will cut this up in here as well, like maybe like that. And then my branch, because I'm going to just cut it right through here. Okay, so I got those two pieces cut out, and I'm going to trim this off right above the wall. That's exactly where I want it to do it. And the rest of this I can use to help cut out other pieces and parts. I have some cats I need to cut out. So other branches, other cemetery areas. I've got all kinds of room there for stuff. And we are going to cut it off at the bottom. Yeah. I'm trying to recall my vision. You know, you have an idea what you want to do, and then you got to try to remember what it was. Now, I want it to be... I'm trying to look here and see. It's about 6 inches. So if I was to cut... that's 5.5. So that's... So I think I'm going to cut it about right there. Yeah, maybe right there. It's not exactly straight along this top. And I kind of wanted it to be. So we'll cut off just a little bit more. If you've got one of those guillotine cutters, that might be something you might want to use here. Now the idea is for this to look like it's seamlessly, yeah, seamlessly together. Maybe like that, yeah. Okay, so I've been going through, and here's my limb for it. So I've been going through here, and I've been doing a little bit to my Poe journals, off screen, shame on me. But this is the 3rd signature, and it has the pretty house, and I put a pocket here, and then I have this little oddball piece this is solidly glued down. There's no tuck or anything here. I didn't really think I needed one. But over here, I don't know. I might put some kind of a tuck. I'm still debating that. And then I've got this that can be journaled on. There's a few pages in here to be journaled on. Now this, I'm waiting to do stuff with this because I have an envelope idea where you have the window. And so that's going to go here. But the thing is, I want to use this page for the cemetery, right? Yeah, I think so. I like the idea of the raven being over here. And see, the rest of this has these pieces in it that some of them we've done before. Like that one, the hanging man, and yeah. And then here's a pocket that I put on this piece. It's one of those small pockets. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do anything with that one. But I put a few other pockets in here. Oh, and then there's our our dream catcher. Our bone catcher. Yeah. So, okay. Now, let's get back here and see what we can do. I think I'm going to have to pull this out. Just so I don't have to maneuver around anything else. And we'll put this closed and stick this back over here. Now, it's going to be kind of bumpy on the back, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. This is going to be our pocket. Our big moon pocket. So he only has to be high enough to be above the wall. Or below, just below. I'll get it right. Just below the wall. Alright, so he's almost at the bottom. So how I'm going to glue this. I'm going to glue him along the edges. Mostly this two sides here, like this, and get enough there that you know it's going to hold well. And you can go kind of a straight line as well. You don't have to be curved like that. But that should hold it. Okay. And then you've got enough room for a 4, maybe not quite 4-inch tag to go through. All right, so this is going right here, and it's going down. I'm leaving a little bit of margin over here because of the spine. Okay, so we're going to wipe up whatever's trying to come out. And you don't really have to be right on the money down here if it's not, I can see it's not straight. But that's okay, it's going to get covered. It's going to get covered. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of inking with my scorched timber just to make sure that's kind of covered. And see, I'm going to put my thing here, and I'm going to only glue it, the bottom and the 2 sides, wide sides. Because remember, our tag is coming down from the top. It could be almost 4 inches. And then it could slide down under this as well. So that gives you that extra bit of room. Okay, so that's going to be like right here. Like that. I've been envisioning this thing for a while. I've been letting it worry around in my head, you know, and thinking about how I want to do it. Okay, so we have our nice dark night wall. Now we're going to put our graveyard, which I don't think I need to put any ink on it. I don't think you'll see that. And the top part I'm not so worried about because it's going to be against a light surface. Isn't that cool? It's got a little gate there and 2 crosses, a little cross on top of that one. That's a really cool little graveyard. Alright, so I'm going to put my Bearly Arts glue all along here. And I'm trying to get myself out of my little depression, I guess you would call it. I don't know what I got. I guess it's just, you have some days or some months that you're up. You got some that you're just kind of tired. It's kind of tired. All right, we have the graveyard, which I think I'm going to do it kind of just like that. I want to be able to see all of my stones against my moon, but I don't know if my my spider web is going to affect that. But it's a nice silhouette kind of a scene. All right, so here is our limb that can come across. Don't know how tall I have to work this out because I know this can go like that, and it needs to be, where is the edge of that pocket? I think right there. Okay, because I can go across it right here and the pocket is still open. Let's see what I can do here. See, I knew it was going to stick. Doing, 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 doing. All right, something like that. All right, let me get a little bit of glue on here and we'll see what we got. And then I can put the branch over it. And I think the easiest way to do it is to just go along the straights and around the outside edge and catch a few other little guys as we go. All right, the straight edges here. Oh, goodness. We have had rain for the last 3 days. It's been a while, but we needed it. I don't want to take it back, but you know, you get tired of rain after so many days. But it's quit now, and it's starting to get nice and steamy out there again. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is to make it look like most of this web is stuck, and I'm not going to be able to see that one little cross on the top of that one stone, but you got the idea. And I can at least see my fence, my gate in there. So I'm okay with that. All right, so now my last piece is this. Oh, well, no, I got my ghost. But, you know, I think we're going to have to fix the ghosts up a little bit. Like, do a little bit of inking around the outside edges of them. That kind of thing. Just so they kind of have some flavor to them, you know. So, there we go. So, this I'm going to kind of bring down about like this. Yeah, just like that. I don't think I've messed up my pocket opening. It goes, oh yes, right over to there. Okay, I like that. I don't have a spider present, but he may be sleeping. It's nighttime. All right, we're going to take a couple of these, you know, grungy looking ghosts. Some of these other ones I'm going to have to put a little color on, you know. Like him, I could put a little extra color up there along his top area. And this one, I've been seeing these little ghosts for a while, and I forget who did something 3 or 4 years ago. Well, no, not that many years ago. But I saw something a couple years ago that somebody made with these little ghosts, and I thought they were the cutest things. And I thought, oh gosh, I got to have those. Now see that little bit of black on his edge and doing these little tips. Oh yeah. Yeah, that gives him something. Gives him something. You don't need to do too much. Casper the Friendly Ghost, that used to be my favorite little guy when I was young. Really young. How about any of y'all? Y'all like Casper? Yeah, I guess he was always picked on. He was like Rudolph. What is it about these? I guess it's the little train that could. It's like all of these little creatures that were picked on that became famous. Should we say the Roadrunner? Yes, he's one of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our little ghosties. Is that glue in his eye, or is that... Yeah, that's glue in his eye. I thought I didn't get the eyeball out, but I thought I did. But yeah, we have the Roadrunner. Tweety. Oh, we can't forget Tweety. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tweety Bird. Now, I'm a cat lover. But that kitty cat, he was bad. He was a bad cat. He shouldn't have been out there after Mickey Mouse. But he was after Tweety Bird. And I had a cat that did that. He went after my Tweety Bird, my parakeet. Remember when you was young and you always had all these animals, and we had hamsters and we had birds galore when we were younger. I guess that's because we couldn't touch them. Mom would let us touch the birds. They were in the cage. Okay, I want to put, maybe I can put that little ghosty coming up that way. He needs to be on this side, though. Okay, let's put him here because he's going to be close to the spine, but he is going to still clear the pocket because these two little tendrils are on the base page. If you know what I mean. Or I should put him in the middle of the spider web. What about that? I might do that on one of these. Remember, I got 4 to do. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think that's all we had to do. Isn't that a cool page? I really like how that turned out. I could have used more little ghosties, but I didn't think I needed that many. And I still have a spider that I might cut out for this and put him like right here. Wait a minute, let me check on that. Okay, it's this little guy right there. He's from the Vault Gothic Portraits, and I guess that's these guys, but it's 666681. And I cut him out, and here he is. I cut him out of black. He's almost right on the money, isn't he? But I thought, well, you know, does he look? Could he be going across the top of the branch? That's kind of spooky looking. And I think I can get his legs to look like they're sticking down to stuff. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Uncap the glue. Let's get this little guy on here. All right. Yeah, I mean, why have spider web and no spider? He's the spooky part, right? But, you know, I love spiders. Especially those little jumping guys. I usually have one on my car through the summer. I guess he hides behind the mirror. The side mirror. And, yeah. I always think they're the cutest. I don't ever know what happened to one little guy that was at the bar. I think Roger carried him out with the trash. I think he would go over to the trash can and find him some critters. We have gnats, you know. Gnats. I hate them things. You can't ever get rid of all of them, though. All right. So here is our spider. There we go. So we got him on there. Let's cap our glue and show our scene again. Yes, yes, yes. We have the dearly departed souls coming out here. And you know that might be what I put down here. Yep, hang on. All right, I thought I had one. Here's my dearly departed. And it's in my Halloween 2023, so it's last year's. But it's the baseboards and transparencies. It's great. I mean, I've got some bats I can put in the air. They're vellum, or not, yeah, vellum bats, I think they are. I had the different window treatments here. You've got the different windows themselves. And then you have this whole list of different words. And the thing was, it's really thick. It's a baseboard. But, let's see. Let me get over here and dig. So if you did not want to have that much thickness, they've said, and don't let me cut myself, to get in here and you can get that started. And you can, like, take that off, that layer, and start peeling. See how easy it is. Well, that was half of it. Let's see what else we got. A little bit more. Ooh. This is a dull blade, by the way. That's why it doesn't have a cap on it. So even if I touch myself with it, it'll take a lot for it to cut me. I cut through my chipboard with it. So there, wow, look how thin I got it. So that is going on here on the bottom. Oh, here's the bat. I dropped the bat out of there. We're going to put that bat up there too. He wanted to be there. That's what I got from that. He wanted to be there. So let's just do this. And put that down here at the bottom on our wall. And that is our dearly departed floating up through the air into the nether reaches, where Tyler Henry can read for their family that they're okay now. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to stick that little guy right up here and dab around him because I got a lot of glue on him. A lot of glue. There we go. Oh, there. There we go. All right. You think I'm going to find something else to put on there? We better stop. It's already almost an hour. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different mixed media. I try to bring that to you each week. We have our pretty wall down here and our graveyard silhouette in the background. You can kind of see the garden gate. If I wanted to, I could probably do a little dotty dot for like a pathway there and a lighter shade of something. We got our crazy craters on our moon. And let me find something to tuck down in there. All right, I got this piece of scrap that is about 3.5. Now, it'll go down in there. That might be the perfect size. It doesn't go all the way because that may be just not strong enough. Because it's wimpy. Oh, yeah, it goes all the way down. Look, actually, it splits. Oh, so, you know, you never know. I should have glued that right there. And at least, you know, when you do stuff like this, little experiments, that kind of leads you to things that you missed. So that's a good troubleshooting idea right there. And we're going to let it go shut and glue up real good, and then we'll be ready to go. So yes, that pocket does work. It functions. So get out there and make you a moon. You saw how I did it. There wasn't much to it. You don't have to have the Stabilo pen. You could just use ink, because that ink almost did as good of a job as anything. And then just find you some pieces and parts to put together. All right. I thank you for coming along. All my subscribers and viewers, I really appreciate you coming by. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you, thank you. Everybody have a great day, great health, great happiness. See you soon. Bye-bye.